What is up, guys? Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today, Shadowkeep is here. Unless you're one of the hundreds of thousands of people waiting in the queue for hours and hours, but other than that, the game is playable, or at least was playable for a decent amount of time. And in that short period, myself and most of my raid team members are already touching 900 light, which is the most important factor. When you are leveling, the worst thing you can do if you are someone who's trying to get to that max power level, get raid ready, the worst thing you can do is to waste powerful loot, and you're going to do so if you earn any of it before you reach the soft cap of 900. So in this video, I'm going to share a bunch of very helpful tips to help you guys not only get to 900 power as easily as possible, but as efficiently as possible, using as little resources as possible, which of course comes in handy, well, in general, but especially if you're planning on leveling multiple characters. Alright, so let's get started. Now, first things first, you can technically get to 900 in one sitting just by loading to the tower and absolutely spamming your resources. And that's because soft cap means that anything you get is going to progress you forward in level. Of course, unless you get like gauntlets 5 times in a row, you do have to still get the drops you actually need in order to progress, but that's neither here nor there. The problem with just going to the tower and spamming tokens is that while it works, you're going to have thousands and thousands of tokens. The people who did that, some reported they used as much as like 7,000 to 9,000 Crucible tokens in order to get to that 900 cap. I know a lot of you guys out there just don't have that many resources. So what do? Well, in terms of going to the tower and turning in a bunch of your tokens, that's still a good idea. At least off the start, get a little bit of a leveling gap, and then when you go to the moon, you won't have to scramble and you won't start falling behind. If you go directly to the moon and start with the new Shadowkeep storyline, the problem with that is that you may not get enough drops in terms of world drops in order to keep up with the light level that's ascending as you go from mission to mission to mission. So going to the tower, turning in some of your Vanguard tokens, Crucible tokens, remember, everything works. So actually, your old Leviathan tokens, those still work if you have some, and you can go and turn them into Benedict, and he's going to help you level up to that 900 soft cap as well. In fact, already we got a tip here. Because Leviathan doesn't have that many weapons in comparison to armor, Benedict is actually hugely favored to give you armor. So if you just need that chest piece, what do? That's the time to go to him. Also, again, turning in tokens, it actually is a little bit more nuanced than just spamming it all at one thing. A lot of you guys probably have a crap ton of weapon parts, but the gunsmith is only going to give you weapons. So it's actually a really good idea to, let's say you're turning in your tokens to the Vanguard, as soon as you get to a scenario where you're like, oh, my kinetic or my heavy, usually it's heavy, is falling behind. I really need a heavy to catch me up. Stop turning in your Vanguard tokens, stop wasting them. That is a great opportunity to go to the gunsmith, then turn in all of your gunsmith tokens until you get a heavy, and then once that balances your light back out, go back to the Vanguard and continue to turn in those tokens. So anytime your weapons are lagging behind, get them from the gunsmith if you can. But don't forget about the sheer variety of vendors as well. All of the planetary vendors, if you have a bunch of EDZ tokens, you can use those too. In addition, if you are someone who has saved up bounties in order to get experience, by the way, that worked flawlessly and I'm already have my seasonal artifact and I'm leveling it up, you may want to actually do some certain things with those bounties because all of the bounty rewards are going to be capped at 750 in terms of legendary, so they won't help you increase your soft cap. But specifically the Werner bounties, if you save those up, because you actually have to go to a chest in the map and then collect that, those will actually help you level up to the 900 soft cap. So do those for sure, don't ignore those. However, like I've said, spamming tokens only works so well and it's very resource intensive. So once you get to around 800, you can actually feel comfortable to stop, hold on to your tokens, especially for secondary characters, which are going to level up so much easier because you're going to be able to transfer over your 900 weapons to your second character, and then when you spam tokens, like, you're just gonna fly through. So that's also very important. Don't waste all of your tokens on your first character if you are someone planning to balance out between several characters, as the most efficient way to level is going to be do one character, then transfer the weapons to the second character, do everything on that other character, transfer the third character, and your third character should be the highest. In any event, once you're around 800, go and do the Shadowkeep campaign. Why? Well, it's because world drops are actually pretty beneficial. Whereas the token grinding will only get you around +3s, random planetary drops seem to be a lot more generous, from +5 to +10 even. They're pretty substantial. The only problem with doing this off the bat is that they drop so infrequently. Getting 2 gauntlets in a row is just so devastating to your progress. However, the good news when you start to do this, when you're on the moon, when you're doing missions for Eris, is that you don't purely have to rely on RNG. And that's because if you ever get to a point where the enemies aren't really dropping that much loot, you haven't ascended in level for a while, go and do the region chests on the moon. This is actually huge. This helped me level up so much because all of these little gold chests, which are incredibly easy to find, just open your map. It shows literally basically where they are, and then just go around a building or inside somewhere or find a little cave near where it says on the map. They're really not too difficult, but all of them give you a guaranteed blue item. So you will get something that's likely going to help you level up. And speaking of guaranteed items, as you explore more on the moon and you kill nightmare enemies, you're going to start to get these items, which have you decrypt them for doing different activities, and they give you guaranteed rewards. As you can see, like this one for sure gives, a sniper. This for sure gives an armor piece. So you can save those for when those specific items are lagging behind. My boots are so far behind, that's when you turn in those essences and get your guaranteed boots, and that'll help you climb again like crazy. But that's a little bit time intensive. You want to know something even easier? Well, it's your seasonal rankings. You are going to get guaranteed armor during your season, and that actually will carry with you throughout the soft cap. So one of the first rewards you get for your season is actually a pair of gauntlets. Only reclaim this if you need gauntlets. Don't just willy-nilly click on this. Make sure that your gauntlets are lagging behind, and then you can have a huge boost in leveling. In fact, while we're on the subject, another thing you're going to get is if you got the premium pass, the first thing you claim gives you the Avow exotic hand cannon that uses special ammo, but it also gives you a full set of armor. That is fantastic for second characters. Don't turn those in right away if you can avoid it, because at the moment you most need armor to help you level up, boom, turn them in, get a full set, and just shoot up. However, we've talked about the new content, doing the moon, doing Eris' storyline, getting drops, all that stuff, but remember, the soft cap is going to be affected by literally everything. Don't forget that if you really want to level efficiently, some of the old activities, such as grinding forge completions and so on, are going to drop quite a lot of loot, and all of that is going to help you ascend. So if you really don't care about the moon, in fact, I would kind of recommend at least not doing the final mission for Eris, because traditionally there's been a powerful drop at the end of completing a campaign. And if you can get to 900 before getting that, that's very important, because of course, once you hit 900, all of the stuff we've talked about will not work. Everything is capped at 900 for the most part, and you're gonna have to chase those powerfuls. So, those are a bunch of tips for hitting the 900 soft cap. Beyond that, it's basically just doing your powerfuls. However, there's a couple of things as well that you can do and have worked traditionally that will get you the advantage compared to people who don't do them. And it, yet again, involves spamming tokens. And that's because for your powerfuls, if you get to a scenario where you have your gauntlets, +5 above everything else really, your helmet another +5, your heavy +5, and everything else is kind of lagging behind. Well, it turns out that with Shadowkeep, normal legendary drops, they're not going to be 10 to 20 behind like they previously were, but they're only going to be 0 to 3 behind your average power level. So whenever that happens, after doing just a few powerfuls, stop. Don't do more powerfuls, because then, if you get helmets, gauntlets, and heavy, the chances for you to get one of those 3 things again for the next powerful is actually pretty high, higher than you would like it. So at that point, go back to Zavala, go and do some normal activities, go and do the menagerie and get some guaranteed loot about what's lagging behind, and then just use the legendary drops, again, because they're only at most 3 behind average light level is, they will bring you up pretty dramatically. The way it basically works is this: you hit the soft cap, you're 900, you did some powerfuls, you have 905 helmet, 906 gauntlets, 906 heavy. And then your overall character is, let's say, 901 because of that. So you start turning in some Crucible tokens. You get a 901 because it can match your power level primary, let's say. Put it on. Then you get a 901 class item. You put it on. Then you get a 901 chest piece. You put it on. And then suddenly your average goes up to 902. And then you're still putting in tokens. You start getting 902 things. Your energy, your primary again, and so on. Perhaps even you can get to 903. You've just gained 2 power levels beyond the soft cap without ever getting a powerful drop. That is actually incredibly powerful, and it will put you way ahead of people who don't do this, because it makes duplicates so much less devastating. Because even if you get a powerful pair of gauntlets, you already have 906 gauntlets, well, now that you're 903, they won't be 906 or 907. They'll be like 908, 09. They'll actually give you a boost. And this worked. This system worked with Forsaken, specifically in the Nightfall, because that was originally only dropping blues that were 5 power levels below what you were. And this is actually something I discovered. You were able to utilize that, especially with multiple characters, to even yourself out. If you got those powerfuls, if things were lagging behind, if you have a chest piece that's 12 levels behind, you can just farm those blues and then get one that's only 5 levels behind, shoot up in level, and then all your powerfuls after that are significantly of higher quality and will help you ascend even further. And look, I know that whole explanation is a little bit complicated, and you're probably thinking, oh, come on, Rick, what's that gonna get me? A few more power levels? But if you're really serious about leveling, that's what you gotta do. And these are things that my entire raid group was doing back in Forsaken. A lot of us traded spots with #1 in the world for power level on PS4 at the time, and we were the first console team to beat Last Wish, partially because we were so over-leveled a lot of other groups. So this stuff does matter. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.